Good morning. Meteorologist Mike Pringley up and at 'em. We've got the weather pick of the week, and may the 4th be with you. Okay. Hey, it's good. It's a great day out there. A big change in the atmosphere. Just if you walk outside, I made sure I took a little time to get out there and just look up. Just enjoy the blue skies again. You know, we've had all this haze. We've had smoke in the air the last couple of weeks. And today, this is the weather we've been waiting for, right? We got some of that needed rain over the weekend, and now we've got the crystal clear blue skies from Ware County and Waycross. And oh yeah, northern Ware County got that 2 inches of rain, just over 2 inches of rain. Baldwin, beautiful blue for you in your forecast today. Jacksonville here in Duval, it's delightful. Lake City, you're more lovely than ever. In Jack's Beach, we called for a great Jack's Beach and a beach day where you can just enjoy. Hey, it's feeling good out there, but just keep in mind you'll need the sunscreen. We'll have our beach block coming up here shortly, but you got St. Augustine there with the gorgeous blue skies. It's just nice to just take it in, and we're going to enjoy this May 4th on this Monday, keep the good vibes going. If you look at the fire and smoke map, this is what I'm real excited about this morning. That smoky weather's far from home. And if you look up toward I-75, you got to go way up toward Macon, Georgia to find a lot of the smoke this morning. So that front really did a good job on not only bringing us beneficial rain, especially north of I-10, but really helping to at least settle down the wildfires out there so we can get more of a handle on them. Right now, if you look at the biggest wildfire in the area, Highway 82 fire, it continues to be more contained. That's the first thing, but there's still a lot of hot spots with it. But overall, what an improvement. You look at our high-res Futurecast Smokecast. Yeah, I didn't enjoy showing this the last couple of weeks, but today I'm enjoying it immensely. We've got a nice, fresh northeast breeze blowing in. It'll switch more to the southeast tomorrow as that high pressure moves a little bit farther south, but notice that nice flow out of the southwest eventually heating us up by Wednesday. But overall, you're not seeing any of the thick plumes of smoke we've seen so often over the last couple of weeks. Here's the rainfall I was talking about. So National Weather Service, Jacksonville, putting out a few of their micro rainfall amounts as we go right into your neighborhoods there. And I tell you what, we got the 1 to 2 inches. There's Waycross, Clinch County. The other big, of course, wildfire in the area is out toward Clinch County, and much needed rain. So really the best news of all, the biggest pockets of rain is where we really needed it. And as you go farther south though, yeah, you know, Fernandina Beach was celebrating their inch of rain. North side, Jim on the west side with over an inch and a quarter there in White House. McClenny, over an inch and a half. Lake City, oh yes, our prayers were answered, weren't they? An inch and a third. But what happened is this front came through earlier in the day. All right, so we said really our 1 to 2 inch rain amounts would be driven by the timing, the heating, the instability, and when that front and actual line not only came together but moved through the area. And you can really tell what happened. Moved through earlier in the day in the morning, and then as it went to the south, it just kind of weakened a bit, right? Okay, so if this line had come through a little later, all right, gotten a later start, you likely would have had those rain amounts flip-flopped a bit where we would have seen some of the higher totals to the south side. So for my friends in Mandarin, near Marbon Road, I know we were looking Loretto Road, back into St. Johns County, World Golf Village. We were really closer to that quarter inch or less. All right, I put a quarter to half inch, but just a quarter inch, and we know that's not going to do, not with this drought. So if you missed out on the heaviest rain, which many of us did, especially south of downtown, the good news is we're still starting to see signs that we're coming out of this pattern. It's going to take several rain events anyway, right? It wouldn't have taken one rain event to really put a dent in the drought, so to speak. It's going to take several of these, and we at least have 2 more big events coming up, within the next 10 days. So I put together the 10-day forecast here for you, streaming on our show here this morning. And what we're going to be seeing is these frontal systems that will continue to move to the south and make some headway. So if we look at this yearly rainfall deficit here, Jacksonville, this is just for this year. Remember, the drought goes all the way back to last year. You know, we had the dry summer overall. We had 113 days of 90 or above, and that's because it was so dry. We really dried out because of it. We did get a break on the hurricane season last year, but it was, it's give and take, and nature tooketh our rain away. And this is just a drought since the beginning of this year. But if you go back to last year, we're going to talk about that. You see the deficit of over 9 inches in Gainesville. up over 7.5 inches for Duval and Jacksonville, Alma and Arlington in the 4 to 5 inch range. But how much rain is really needed? Okay, so I gave you the deficits just back dating to January 1st. So you got the crack ground. There's Duval. There's our stadium. There's our Main Street Bridge. Okay, so you got the stadium on the right, Main Street Bridge. And what I tried to do is I wanted to make it easier to see. So I want to say, well, what's a landmark we all understand? Well, we know Everbank Stadium. We know about the height and the volume of the stadium. So I did all the math. Left side will populate to erase the drought. We need 20 inches of rain over time. Now, this is basically more centered, localized rainfall over downtown and near downtown Duval. Just keep that in mind. All right, and then we have all that water. And to get us back to normal, there it is. Yeah, enough to fill Everbank Stadium to the top 30 times. All right, now that's what I call a drought. It's amazing the power of water and how far behind we are. But it just gives you perspective as to just how bad this drought is. We've been talking about exceptional drought, but everybody's saying, well, what does exceptional drought mean? How much rain to get out of this thing? And basically, when you do all the math here, and what we're figuring out here when I did the calculus here is 1 cubic foot is about 7.5 gallons. So I did all the math. You have the volume, the total water volume, the area, Duval County, and the rainfall depth were the big three that I looked at here. And then when you put it into the formula form, it came out to 30 stadiums. All right, so yes, for Everbank. And as a result, even though we got the rain over the weekend, you know what we're about to talk about. All right, because we're so far behind. It's the fire danger. So we did get a bit of a break, but look what happens. We dry out this afternoon. We've got the low dew points that brought the chilly weather. How about that chilly start this morning? We'll talk more about that. 30% is our relative humidity in Lake City, to 41% in Duval and Jacksonville, a little higher along the coast. So that tells us, again, the big areas to watch. The highest fire risk would be west of Highway 301 this afternoon. And get used to it. Elevated to high really until further notice. I mean, that's what we're talking about. And we'll get from time to time go into the high to critical range, especially by the middle of this week. But we've got to really be vigilant out there. Dew points, well, meteorologist's best friend on the forecast. There's their dry air. There's the fire risk. See, we're still really in that fire risk range. We got the 57 to start this week, low 60s by the middle of the week. A little help for the firefighters, a bit humid, a little more muggy by Thursday and Friday. So if we look at our big graph, we're talking about the highest fire risk this week with our hottest temperatures, Wednesday, Thursday, and then slowly improving as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you know what? That's good news. So higher humidity, and that also means some better rain chances. Let's go. This is what everybody needs to know. Where's the rain? When's it coming? Okay, here we go. So not much rain here in the short term. You saw a few very light amounts there, but long term, we go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're seeing some beneficial blues once again. We said where you see that blue, that's where we could have over an inch of rain like we saw. So think about an inch of rain. We are talking about from Clay County, northern St. John's, Duval County, and then 2 inches plus up toward areas of Georgia. And hopefully that 3 inches comes to fruition too over that fire out in Clinch County. Overall to the south, we're seeing the pockets of blue as well. So areas that missed out on some of the heavier rainfall totals, there is more hope for us on the horizon. That includes Mandarin, St. Augustine, Plaquemine, Palm Coast, over to Gainesville. So here's the big setup for the rain. Well, high pressure this week's to start the week, right? We talked about the high fire risk. It'll start to scooch off to the east. Watch the wind flow. See those little arrows? Notice how they switch more to the west and southwest. That's a hot flow. That's a hot, high pressure. So that's why Wednesday, Thursday will be our hottest days of the week. And finally, Atlanta. Come on. Let's go, nature. Atlanta to Raleigh to the nation's capital, D.C., up to New England. We're watching this front. That stretches back to New Orleans. Thursday, yeah, I think we could put in some rain in the forecast really for our Georgia friends up toward Waycross, maybe Brunswick by late day in the evening. But notice it's really as we get into Friday. That's right. Let's end the week with some rain here and some heavy pockets of rain. And it does look like that'll include some downpours. Severe weather risk, yeah, this time of year we've got a little more instability to work with, so we always have to keep our guard up. Right now, not showing any big chances at this point. You know, but last week, of course, I was downplaying the big risk, and this week I'm certainly not jumping on any severe weather bandwagon this early in the week. But just a note to be ready for downpours and lightning again is my big two, and then keep checking back with us during the week. But for now, it looks like a lot what we saw over the weekend with that front. Now, as we look at the 7-day forecast, what you've been waiting for, okay, we've got an 81 for the weather pick of the week today after that chilly start, a wrap and peel day. Mid-80s as we go into Tuesday, and there it is, the hottest 2 days, Wednesday, Thursday at 94. And I did increase the rain chance there from 30% Thursday to 60% Friday. And then for the weekend, it's Mother's Day. We've got to take care of Mom. I'll take care of my wife, too, make sure she has some time. Guys, remember, Sunday is the big day. This is the day where we allow, we just give it all up. We serve, we get those flowers, make sure our wives and our moms have the best day ever because they deserve it, and they really deserve more than one day, as we know. So notice that rain chance, 40% at this point should not ruin our Mother's Day plans. So coming up, we're going to take a look at the second part of our weather story, which is the heat that's going to build in this week. We'll also take a more specific look at that 40% chance of rain on Mother's Day. And then we'll dive into better rain chances, not just one front I showed you, but another front bringing some more beneficial rain behind that one. So we're going to go to the 10-day forecast coming right up. We'll be right back.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiahAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Woo!
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living Live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
The First Coast News weather team is here to deliver your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather and up-to-the-minute information on First Coast News Plus.
The wave of moisture rolls its way on in here.
Our team is the most equipped and experienced to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
Welcome back to Weather Impact Live. Meteorologist Mike Prengley enjoying your company. And you know what? We're just going to give everybody the day off, at least take some time for you. It's just me and you. I love it. So hopefully my weather team's getting some needed rest and some sunshine and fun out there. I've got it covered. I mean, we're talking about the best day of the week. I'm excited to tell you about a smoke-free atmosphere at this point. Beautiful blue skies, 73 degrees, and love hearing from you on Facebook. So we're on Facebook and YouTube here. So any questions you have, send them my way, and we'll get to those. The big thing, of course, folks are asking is when will we get some more rain? Well, today's our weather pick, 73, but I've got some good news. Not only do we have a mainly smoke-free atmosphere, good air quality across the First Coast, but lower pollen. This is something I've not shown in a long time. All week long, I've just got low to medium range. All right, so for the allergy sufferers, that shows you what that rain can really do. That beneficial rain made a big difference. So for the next 12 hours, get out there. Another reason to take some time for you. Temperatures right up into the lower 80s this afternoon. And notice, after those chilly 40s this morning, it'll feel just right. This just right kind of weather is something we have to take advantage of this time of year. Now that we're in May, we don't have too many more of these days left. We go into this evening looking wonderful for a nice dog walk. I've got my plans. I'll be out on the porch, temperatures in the low 70s. Looking around the area, our friends in Palm Coast had about 0.4 of an inch of rain over the weekend. St. Augustine, more of a disappointment. Most of their totals were right around 1/4 inch or less there, but what a beautiful day. 76 degrees, sunny, and this is going to be just a wonderful day for comfort, low humidity. And then you go inland, really the warmest spot I could find, 85 in Gainesville in Alachua County. That's it. And then you go up toward Georgia, low 80s from Folkestone to Waycross, 77 in beautiful Brunswick and Fernandina. What a weekend it was at the Shrimp Fest with temperatures of 76 degrees. And folks up in Fernandina, they were happy. It wasn't a washout. And I was getting some smiles even with the rainy pictures you sent in. We take a look at the forecast highs today, why you need to take advantage. 81 today. Look to the west. Oh, here comes. The heat is building. Out toward Texas, 92 in Dallas, 89 out toward Brownsville. By the time we head to Wednesday, Jacksonville, keep your eyes on this, we will be the hottest spot in the entire country. Pretty impressive there. But if you notice something, notice how it drops pretty fast. 90s Jacksonville, 80s Atlanta, 70s in Knoxville, 50s in St. Louis. And that's a sign a front is on the way. And that's why we do have better chances of rain by late week. In fact, Thursday, one more hot day before the cool down. And why Tampa's a little cooler than Jacksonville? Well, they've got the west-southwest wind off the Gulf in that water. Whereas here, we've got a land breeze, and it's a hot one. And that's why our high temperature of 94 should be the hottest in the country. Looking for a little bit of cooler weather, head to the north with 62 in New York City, 61 in Boston, only in the 50s up toward northern Minnesota. So our 3-day forecast, we showed you the heat is on. Once that high pressure shifts east, that heat's building in, mid-80s. We should be in the mid-80s this time of year. For Tuesday, back to the mid-90s. That's 94 Wednesday. And we got to watch that temperature. Last week, we had a 95-degree high as we finished April, right? And that actually tied for the hottest of all time for the entire month. And here we go again this week. We could make it number 10 and day number 11 of 90-degree heat. And I do think at least we'll tie it, at least tie a record as we head into Thursday. Pretty amazing, isn't it? And we take a look, high pressure moving east, waiting for that wind to shift out of the southwest. But what I promised you is, what does this mean for Mother's Day? And let's go out 10 days. We want to go out a little further, right? Because we need several big rain events, not just one, to help our drought. All right, so here's Thursday. All right, taking a look. Showers fill in as we go into Friday. And I think this front could actually come through with some of the daytime heating. That's good. That would mean areas farther south that missed out on some of the heavier rain this past weekend would have a better chance of seeing some of that rain. Okay, so on average, I could see easily a ½ inch to an inch and maybe more of rain on the way. And we look at Mother's Day forecast. This is important, right? We talked about mom. She deserves to be celebrated every day in my book. We got 40% chance of late day showers and storms. So I'm thinking brunches. I'm going to take my wife out there. We're going to have a nice brunch on the beach. I think we'll be just fine outside because if we pop any of those showers, likely it would be in the afternoon. I have late day officially for Jacksonville. So, that south wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll have enough humidity. But these are very isolated to widely scattered showers in the Mother's Day forecast for Sunday. Because if you look at the big picture, really this weekend's between fronts. I showed you that one front yesterday coming our way, or for Friday at least. And then as we go into the weekend, the break. And then Monday would be the second front that arrives. So if you look at the Climate Prediction Center, we are in the green. That's good. All right, it's money. Just think of it as money. That's nature's liquid gold over us. Higher chances of above normal rainfall from Atlanta, Georgia to Jacksonville, all the way to Miami. And I see active fronts for the next 2 weeks. So that's really all the way from May 12th to May 18th. Here we are on May 4th. So this is like a busy 1 to 2 week pattern. We showed you this weekend. I put that 40% chance in there. It doesn't look too impressive, right? Right. But watch what happens. Well, it went by pretty fast, didn't it? you saw another front coming on Monday. So as we look at the latest Euro here, and we can play it back one more time because we're all waiting for that rain. So Saturday, everybody don't blink. All right, here we go. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, boom. So there's your second front coming through with some more heavy rain. So on the 10-day forecast, I did up the rain chances. You have our late week front and then another front Monday, and see how Mother's Day's right in between. So for the weekend, looking good. I believe we have the Donna 5K going on, so we're going to get that forecast all ramped up. We've got Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. A lot going on for those plans, and of course some great concerts around town. So kind of pattern where we can really time out the rain pretty well. I'm pretty confident Friday afternoon, and again Monday, even as we wake up, could be a weather impact day. So circle Friday and Monday as the 2 days to really look at for the rain. As far as that 10-day forecast goes, yeah, we've got a little bit of everything, right? Cool start, hot weather in there, some rain. Next week looks like trending a little closer to normal. We showed the rain normal to above normal, well, temperatures as well, mainly in the low to mid 80s, and I think that's a good sign for our rain. So coming up, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the runner index and this beautiful weather and have your beach block, and then we'll wrap it up.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Breaking overnight, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Breaking news, a major crash on I-95.
Routine controlled burn got out of control. First Coast News was the only station there.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage with First Coast News and First Coast News Plus. The First Coast News Plus TV app. Streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Have the umbrella in the back seat, the rain jacket ready to go.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
Let's get some breaking news we've been following overnight.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. First Coast News Plus, complete coverage of your local news, weather, and more.
The First Coast News weather team has your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather. Our team is here to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
Good morning, 1023 live here on Weather Impact Live. And I love showing all of your pictures, and we had a great weekend. I'm going to see if I can scroll down and start with you. So I always start with you as my Monday motivation. And it was a big weekend for graduates from FSU to Florida to UCF. That's little Ross. He's no longer little, is he? So Andy sent this picture in, Ross Kowalczyk, summa cum laude. Wow, great job. I've known him since he was just a little guy. I mean, I was a soccer coach, now a graduate. Where does time go? All right. We take a look at our other picture. Oh, boy. Have you ever been out in public with Brody? Oh, my goodness. What a time. All right. And we went out, met him out. He was emceeing an event for the Johnson Family YMCA. This was the Kentucky Derby Saturday, and oh my goodness, the fascinators, the hats, the wonderful ladies I met out there. Got to take my wife out and spend some quality time, but also got to see Brody. And there's Donald there. Boy, is he looking dapper with the shoes. And it was just a wonderful time. And the big thing is benefiting the Johnson YMCA, located just off Cleveland Street and on the north side. So wonderful weekend. And as we start the week, we're keeping the vibes going as we go into our Monday. It's our weather pick of the week. And if you look at these temperatures, boy, they've are coming up a long way. It's hard to believe we were just in the 40s in parts of Duval. We're now warming up into the 70s. So this is all a function of a drought. When the ground is this dry, you can heat up in a hurry. So today, we got a 10 out of 10 kind of day. I mean, this is your day. Some call it, Some call it Monday. We're just going to call it your day today. Pringley Runner Index of a 10. We talked about the Donna coming up this weekend, the 5K. Great training. Extra mile, yes. I'm going to get an extra run and mile in today, I think. Maybe we'll do 2 runs. Do a Bridges run before the noon show here. We got fast run at 50 to start. That 50 is now up to 70. Even the model's having a hard time keeping up. 80 by 2 o'clock and 78 by 5 p.m. Now, this is keeping up. Beach forecast. Promise you a little beach block here. It does look like low to mid-70s on the sand. One thing to note, UV index of 9, that's a burn time in about 20 minutes, and that water temperature of 73. We still have the moderate rip currents out there. Surfers, we've got, if you look out at the surf right now, we're looking live at about 2 to 3 footers. So, yeah, not too bad. With the northeast wind, it's a little choppy, though, but it should just be okay. Just be careful, those moderate rip currents. And as we look at our fishing forecast, we got Captain Alvarez is out on the boat, so he's going to send us our fish picture for the noon show today. And we got east wind 10 to 15. Looking good, seas 3 to 4 feet, and a moderate chop on the intercoastal. I know the jacks are biting right now out there. Forecast planner, if you have evening plans, yeah, we said good for all the plans, 72 degrees after today's high of 91. And if you're just joining us, we're wrapping up the streaming show, but not before talking about more beneficial rain. As we said, we need 30 Everbank stadiums filled to the top, and we're at least going to get some more beneficial rain late weekend again on Monday. Big 7-day forecast as we wrap it up. Here it is. Beautiful start to the week. Then starting to see things change. That wind on Tuesday, that should be more of an east wind, closer to 10 to 15 as well. So we're going to keep the fire risk elevated, not too high. I'm going to lower that wind speed there for you. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, there's the change. Wind does start to come a little gusty. All right, so we'll start to see the wind pick up Thursday, 94 degrees. And then if we do get the rain, really starting to set in as we head into Friday, and then the weekend's more of those pop-up scattered late day with the heating late day storms we oftentimes see in May. So overall, still waiting on the official rainy season to begin here in Jacksonville, and we still have to wait until early June usually for that, when you have the sea breezes start to collide every day, and we have that daily downpour almost every day in the forecast. So we're not quite there yet, but at least we're getting closer to that. And this summer's pattern, much different than we saw last summer, where we were so dry. I'm seeing more in the way of rainfall, and of course we will keep you updated. In the meantime, get out there, my friend. Enjoy your 10 out of 10 kind of day. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Have a wonderful day.